Coming up on this episode of Solution Based Community presents The Get Together. Where is the love?
What is a ride or die chick?
It's like that loyalty, that unconditional loyalty. And I unsubscribe from it.
At some point, you make a decision like, hey, wait a minute, I gotta get out this stolen car right here. This is stolen car right here. This is not.
Yes, I will return to ride or die status, but when I am matched to someone who will do the same for me.
I don't want to be behind no bull crap, I don't want to be robbing the banks or, being a getaway driver.
This ain't Grand Theft Auto, man. We good.
Like the cats who know me, they know like, yo, this ain't the ride for you, bro. This ain't, this ain't what you do. And I be like, I greatly appreciate that, my friend. You know what I'm saying?
When you go into something, you can be committed and like, I'm gonna ride for this person. But like y'all said, sometimes people change and they go different directions.
We cannot live the life we want to live until we pinpoint what our true issues are.
Who's the soror in here?
That's
That would be me.
Summer.
397 Theta Lambda, Westchester.
Okay.
All right now.
Yeah, and we having it's our
sides and shit.
we're having our bootleg to this week, and even though I wasn't able to get on, still had to represent. So
Yeah, I don't know shit they talking about right now. I really don't.
It's a
Me
sorority thing.
neither.
I'm just lost.
I'm
I
just
get
like,
lost
hey.
every episode. I get lost. I mean, seriously, I really get lost every episode.
Well, you getting old, bro. You getting old, bro.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't need a reminder though. I really don't. I don't. I don't need
All right.
too many
Well,
reminders.
I got it, even if you don't. It's cool.
But I figured. That's all right. I'm gonna get you.
Of course.
I'm gonna get you.
Of course. I already know how this is going to go. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Solution Based Community Podcast.
sir.
This is The Get Together. I'm your man, King, King. And with me, as always, is my OG, my big bro, the Elder Herb. What's good, fam?
Peace, man. I'm tired. I'm tired. So hurry up.
No doubt. And, of course, the best part of somebody's mocha in the morning, the effervescent brown girl. Peace, Queen.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Queen. What up?
Now, today's topic is going to be one that helps us all understand each other better. Where is the love? Are you a ride or die? Should you be? And is that the only way we show or deserve love? Now, to get into that, we got another great lineup of community members ready to talk about it. First off, this community member is a friend of the show out of Omaha, Nebraska. Portia McAllister, welcome back, sis.
Portia, what's up? What up?
Yeah. Now, this next community member is a longtime friend of mine out of Mays Landing, New Jersey. My homegirl, Cassandra. What up, family?
Cassandra, what's up? This motherfucker giving out addresses and shit. But go ahead. Keep it going. Don't tell my shit. Don't tell my shit.
We already know you.
I don't want a motherfucker to know where I'm at. But go ahead.
Now, this community member is another returning guest from our biggest show, Black Love, out of the CFD.
Yes, sir.
Nefertiti Phillips, what's going on, girl?
Nev.
Hello, everyone.
What's up,
Hey.
Love you, Queen. Love you, Queen.
I love you too, little brother.
All right, and this community member is hailing from the mighty borough, Willingboro, New Jersey. Big in the building. What up, Big?
What up?
Hey,
man?
what's going on? What's going on?
Peace,
Hey,
what's up,
peace, everybody.
And finally, this community member is one of the hosts of the Ladies Love Hip Hop podcast. We got the Summer Willow in the building. Thank you for coming on,
So,
Queen.
what's
good?
going on, Queen? How you
Eve,
doing?
thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
No doubt. Now,
Thanks
just
for
a
coming.
reminder.
You ain't give her address out. But go ahead. Just keep going. Keep going.
I'm mad.
Nah, this motherfucker just telling. But go ahead, man. Go ahead, brother.
And he was bragging about where he's from the first 3 episodes.
No, actually, I wasn't.
Look,
It was
she was?
that's that. Nah, you didn't listen to that because that's nonsense. Listen, go ahead, King. Serious. Just go ahead, man. Go ahead, keep telling. Go ahead.
Listen. Now, this is just a reminder. You can catch this in every episode of the Solution Based Community Podcast on our new website, www.solutionbasedcommunity.com. Log on, check out all of the content, all of the videos, or hit the links and tune in on your favorite podcast platform.
Yes, sir.
Brown girl,
Yeah.
what is a ride or die chick?
Oh, so as a former ride or die myself.
Former.
Former.
That's important.
Yeah. I want to be very super clear.
Okay.
A former ride or die chick.
Wow.
It's a woman that will ride out for her dude 100%, no matter what. Yeah, that's
100%.
That's how I always understood it to be. Is you ride out for your dude 100%, no matter what. It's like that loyalty, that unconditional loyalty. And yeah, I unsubscribed from it.
I know that's right.
So you mean like he making?
You're
So
not
you
gonna
mean
have
like
me tagging along with you down those dark alleys. You
there
can't
you
do
go.
that.
I mean, he make a fool out of everybody in public, and you riding with that too. Like that's what you mean as well.
Unsubscribe.
That's
Oh.
how it rolled. That's how. Oh, let me change that. That's how it was always explained to me what a ride or die was. Like you should be down for your dude with whatever and everything. And then the older I got, and I realized that I can't really base my decisions on how I move in this world or what my dude is doing, because he might not be moving the same way I'm moving. Like, and we might have some.
Hold on. It's a lot of moving. So let me know. All right, you said, all right, you moving, and then he not moving the way you moving, and then all right. So hold on. Let's break this. You got to break this shit down. You know I get lost every episode. First of all, I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I need a nap. I didn't take a nap today. So
oh man. And the Eagles gonna be playing later, so
fuck the Eagles, fuck all that. I need some. I need a nap. I don't give a fuck. I hope they win, but I'm going to sleep. I'll be asleep when the motherfuckers either win or lose. Well, listen. So all right. So you said all right, ride or die, right? And you said you moving, right? And he's not moving the way you. I'm not understanding.
If he does dumb shit with his life, I don't want to be attached to it.
Oh. Right. Okay. So where the ride or die part come in at? Like, cause y'all moving, but where the ride or die part?
That ride or die, the way it was always explained to me is like, it's that unconditional type loyalty that you have to the person that you're with.
So unconditional mean no condition. There is no condition to what, like, I could, like, I'm going to ride this out. It is no, under no circumstances am I going to ride.
The wheels fall off.
The wheels fall off.
Thank you. The wheels fall off.
To the wheels fall off?
Mm-hmm. The wheels fall off.
This a tough one here. This a tough one.
Yeah. I mean, that's always been the general definition of ride or die. I mean, she's right. Like, but at some point you make a decision like, hey, wait a minute, I gotta get out this stolen car right here. This is a stolen car right here. This is not
the clown car.
This ain't ours.
Out of show of hands for the ladies, how many of y'all have been a ride or die chick in your past? Or currently?
Well, ain't nobody died yet, so we good. So we straight. So I guess they form or two. They form.
Because we wisened
You say
up.
you retired too, right? Wait a minute. I'm trying to get into
No. Okay.
Well,
Wait. There are probably, I would like to say, maybe two floating definitions of this, if I could use that, brown girl. Is that kind of right to assume? If you're with a man or a significant other, and to me, you guys just mesh, it's really no need to have a definition of a ride or die, because you're going to do that regardless, in my opinion. Now, there's also that flip side of it where you jump in head first, and it actually, to me, becomes more than ride or die. It's more of a pressure type thing, because you worried about how doing it to please that other person instead of doing what's right for you. You don't get that understanding until you get older, and those intuitions where you feel it in your gut, something's not right. I can't co-sign that. Yep. When you're younger, it's more, you know what I mean, free flowing. When you get older, it's like,
Okay, so that right there, that I guess that complimented what you were saying about the moving part. Like, I'm moving and he's moving and y'all not moving, at the same
direction.
Pace. Yeah, in the same in the same direction, the same pace.
Can I say something about the ride or die chick? I think that Neff hit it on the head. This word she said jump. So when you jump into something. And also to piggyback off of what Erica said, it's kind of like when you're younger or less mature in a relationship, then you'll do something like that. So two things. One, the whole idea of a ride or die chick, from my knowledge, comes from hip hop, right? It just comes from street life. It comes from, the expectation of a gangster's woman or a street man's woman to ride or die, meaning we could get locked up, we could get shot up, because we're in this
whatever we doing, I'm doing.
Right.
Uh-huh.
The other part is, and I was just talking about this to my brother. Our people in general have not had the easiest upbringing, and we haven't necessarily had our parents there to show us what it looks like to be in a committed relationship. So the idea that somebody is just going to commit their entire life to you is immature. And that's pretty much what kind of men you're dealing with when you're talking about a street dude. You know, when you're talking about love, and I'm generalizing because there's street dudes out there that are really, really understanding of what love means. But I just think that ride or die is something you do when you're immature. It's also something you do when you're in something that you could actually die from or get in trouble from.
Right.
And then also, I was a ride or die when I was younger because of the same reason, my maturity, not understanding that, oh, I can't be involved in what you're doing. And to Erica's point, like, I'm not going in that direction. I'm going this way. So I was more like a ride and then get off type of
Okay.
But now I will say this. As a woman, I'm a woman. I'm a mature woman. I've been through some things. I will date somebody until I know what I know. I've never been married. So hopefully the person that I marry, that's going to be the one that I'm like, yes, we're here. So yes, I will ride for him. And yes, I will die for him. And yes, I will be committed to him on paper and otherwise. So yes, I will return to ride or die status, but when I am matched to someone who will do the same for me.
Right.
And hopefully there's
your
not
best interests at heart. You got your best interests at heart. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, definitely.
Like you can't, like she was saying, you can't ride or die just for anybody. You know what I mean? And when you're younger, it's like, oh, that's just my man. I'm gonna ride for him. I'm gonna die for him. We gonna ride this out, and no matter what, come hell or high water, we're gonna do this together, right? Kind of that Bonnie or Clyde mentality. You know, the only person I feel honestly you should have that mentality for, right, it's your husband. When you get to that committed relationship, you get to that point where y'all commit to each other for life, then at that point, that's who you ride with. And but at the same time, you know, because y'all supposed, when you're committed like that, you're supposed to be willing to die for each other, right? You're supposed to be able to ride together. So in my opinion, personally, you know, that's when you do that ride or die. But that person would not put you in that position to have to ride or die for them. You know, so that's where that difference you know, from just doing it for your boyfriend or whoever you're with at that time, than doing it for your life partner and with your life partner, because that person is not going to put you in that position to have to be that ride or die. But they know if that happens, that situation comes up, they know you're going to have their back 100%. You know what I mean? At no matter what cost. So, and I think that's kind of the differences, at least to me personally, when you consider what a ride or die is, and that stigma or the terminology you put to it, you know, the meaning you put behind what it calls to say, oh, I'm going to be that ride or die chick for him.
Okay. Now, Cassandra, you had your hand up as well. Do you have something to add to it?
Well, I'm just like, being a ride or die, I think it's kind of like a feeling that we had when we were like younger, but now that it's like older and mature, like you ladies are saying, it's like how that man is making me feel. That makes me want to ride. That makes me want to ride out with him, as far as his goals, his ambitions, or whatever that may be. That's what I want to be behind. I don't want to be behind no bull crap. You know, I don't want to be robbing the banks, or you know, being a getaway driver.
This ain't Grand Theft Auto, man. We good.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. But like, as far as anything else he wants to do and achieve in life, like, I'm with that 100% to supporting. Like that's my definition of really like being a ride or die now, you know. But then I was like young and stupid. It was like more. It was like I was just doing whatever.
So I have a question for the fellas then. So you know how we went ahead and talked about what we think a ride or die is. What do y'all think a ride or die is when you're looking for one, or are you even looking for one?
For me, ride or die to me was specifically for the street mentality of a relationship. When you were into something and that woman is with you, she's going to ride or die for you when things get hot. When things go down, she's going to move with you. She's going to go everywhere it is that you got to go, and she's going to do the things that you need her to do in order for both of y'all to be okay? No matter where it is that you're going, no matter what you're doing, whether y'all busting at the cops, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff, whether all that stuff, like that's all ride or die to me. Ride or die never for me included being treated badly. Okay, so being treated poorly to me has never been what ride or die has been about. You know what I'm saying? I was married for 7 years, and there's a lot of stuff that I had went through, and for the most part, it was ride or die, but it just ended badly. So I got an idea of what it is that I would love to see from a woman, ride or die, and that is honestly, specifically what the ladies were talking about. Like Summer said, when you know that that's the person that's supposed to be, that's there for you, and they got your back, and it's not on no young ridiculous stuff, you know, you gonna ride or die for that person because they're gonna do it for you because y'all both on the same page doing exactly what y'all need to do for your family together. So to me, that's what a ride or die is now. But the other way, it should not include, in my opinion, any kind of disrespect to a woman or a man. You know what I mean?
I definitely agree with that one. Big, you back? Thought I
I'm
heard
working on it. I'm working on it.
I'm telling you, it's the plant, man.
You had to move away from the jungle.
The bang was hanging over it. It was dangling.
Not the
Shit.
bang.
It was like a Justin
The bang.
yeah. That's what the bang. Yeah, it was like a Justin Bieber type. You know what I mean? Like John.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? All right. If you guys would, I know you didn't ask me, but if you guys would like to know my perspective of what a ride or die is, I would greatly give it to you.
Yes, please.
My thing is that I'm really looking into this ride or die thing as a thing of necessity. And I overheard you ladies saying like married, like, and I'm agreeing with you. Like, don't get it twisted. I don't want no, I don't want no sauce or nothing. But but when you guys say when you married now, like when you were younger, you ride or die for immature reasons, and when you're older, now that you've grown, you know what I mean, you're gonna ride or die with your husband, you know what I mean, the legal, from a legal aspect and so on and so forth.
Not necessarily.
No, that's what I heard. I'm telling you what I heard. And I think Portia said something about the paper, right? You said something about legal marriage, right, Portia?
I said that who your life partner is going to be, because there are some people
I was hearing
who ride with that person. I said marriage for me.
I said on paper. I think
but
okay.
I said whoever your life partner is, who that person you're going to ride out for. Some people don't believe in marriage and they're going to just be partners for the rest of their lives, and if that's your person you gonna be with, and you made that commitment, be it legally or not. If you made that commitment with that person, then that's that person who you gonna ride for, because they're gonna ride for you.
I tell you what, my whole look at this thing is about necessity, right? I'm talking about necessity, whether it be on the street, whether it be in the suburbs, whether it be anywhere. Like, hey, my ride or die is going to complement whatever the fuck I can't do, you're going to be able to do. Whatever, you know what I mean? If the motherfucker said, like, listen, you already know, I'm going to show you my hand. I'm going to show you my hand, whether it be street or straight paper legal. You understand? I'm going to show you my hand. If you are able to complement this, then you have the ability to ride or die. Ride or die is a necessity. It's a necessity in the hood. Like, it's a necessity everywhere. Actually, it's a necessity for our community.
Right.
So I look at it like, ride or die is a necessary thing. You know what I mean? Now, some of the, and I know we probably go into this later. Some of this shit be lopsided, like what Brown Girl said, I'm riding this way and you may be going that way and so on and so forth. But I'm gonna say ride or die is a necessary thing to do. And I'm gonna go to my man Big, because I ain't taking this shit over. This is our community.
Right. Well, I'm not a street nigga, never been. So I don't know. When I hear ride or die, I think people define it based on like songs, right? But if I base it on my life, you know what I'm saying, even as I was younger, ride or die just mean like you down for me. And you know what I'm saying? I'm down for you. And being down for you mean I'm not going to have you in no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, I was never part of the street element. You know what I'm saying? You know, although I knew cats and shit like that, like the cats who know me, they know like, yo, this ain't the ride for you, bro. This ain't, you know, this ain't what you do. And I'd be like, I greatly appreciate that, my friend. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, and you know, and it's the same way, you know what I'm saying? I would afford that to my lady at the time. Like, you know, I'm not with that shit. If you trying to be a ride or die because you think you got some Bonnie dreams, you know, go find a Clyde. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's definitely not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to do some regular picket fence, 2 kids and a dog type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we could ride or die for that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's whatever you were at that time, whatever you were interested in, or whatever you saw as the potential of a mate. You know what I'm saying? I never saw potential in a street chick as a mate for me. You know what I'm saying? They was my homegirls. Shit, they was my sisters. But for me, I was like, I'm good. I'm not. I'm not riding for that.
I'm with you on that. I'm right with you on that. I'm kind of
like,
good.
whoa. You started that shit. Like, I'm not going there with you. Like,
I don't know if I can sign off.
You know, I did a risk assessment and saw that just wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? So, so I feel like ride or die always meant for me. You know, I guess the mature definition that we just gave it now that we're older, you know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't into all of that. So, you know, whether I heard it through songs or heard it through, you know, the conversation of my peers, you know what I'm saying? I always just, how do I apply it to me? How do I filter it to work for me? And that's how I always saw it, you know?
I think the term it's another phrase or term that's thrown around too loosely, like how people say, I love you, that's my bro, that's my sis.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? That term of ride or die is pretty much a spinoff of a Bonnie and Clyde type situation, a pimp and his bottom bitch type of situation. And throughout the years, it's morphed into something else to fit each current generation that it might be passed throughout. You know what I'm saying? Ride or die to me now that I'm older just means that when you're with somebody that you know is the real deal, you're going to do any and everything you can to keep that relationship going strong. You could be 2 criminals together and robbing banks together, but if that's your twist, that's your twist.
Blicky.
I think that the term is used too loosely now with the younger generation because they're the ones that are influenced through the videos and all of that and the songs, and they get caught up in that and not really know what the true definition of that. They just want to be a part of something to say that they are a part of something. And that's where it kind of dilutes the whole term itself, and it kind of takes away any value that it really has for some people out here that consider, you know, their significant other, whether it be marriage or not, their ride or die.
Now, do we need to correct that, or do we allow these terms like this to be redefined?
It's kind of one of those definitions.
You know, because those type of definitions, like that's it. If it's from the hood, then it, you know, it's going to change as the hood changes. So like all hood nomenclature changes, it's just going to keep going. It's going to keep turning into something else as we evolve, as we turn into other things. So as we are now our parents' generation, like, you know, we looking back on these kids, do we need to correct something like that? Or do we just need to have different examples?
Oh no, I was going to say I think we do need to really look at what we're referring to it to, because it has been romanticized from the Bonnies and Clydes, from like even like the hip hop game, and even like street lit that was from the past and everything. It's romanticized how it looked. But as you grow, everything changes, and I don't think we circle back to, oh, these are my expectations as far as what I still want to ride or die, but it looks like this to me now. Like, I'm the first one to always say, I'm a ride or die with conditions, or I am an unconditional love. I don't do unconditional because I always have conditions. But because of my conditions, I always get them up front. Like, if it's something that's going to put me in danger, my freedom in danger, risk losing my pension, I'm not here for it. And I let people know, I let men know up front, like, whoa. If this is something that's going to harm me, my freedom, or my money and my pension, I can't ride for that and everything. So I set that expectation up front.
I got you. And what I do like that you said, actually, I love everything you said, but at the same time, I like that you said you up front with it. You know what I mean? Now, a lot of women, and I'm gonna tell you from my standpoint, like from my experience and from the experience of a lot of friends that I had, a lot of women say, you know, all right, they come in, oh yeah, I'm ride or die, and then there's an extent. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It may be a motherfucker. Oh, now you developing the gut, or your bread is not is where it used to be at. You understand what I'm saying to you? Or you may lose a limb, or just or your joint stop working, or whatever. You know what I mean? And just I'm just talking about the conditions. I'm talking about conditions now.
That's a condition.
It happened to me.
I'm talking about what? Dog, they ain't supposed to be coming on here talking about your jaw stop working.
I ain't talking about that, man. You the elder. That's your problem. That ain't mine. I'm still good, bro. That's all you.
Damn, go pop you one of them things. I mean, God damn, people talk like that.
That's all you.
Hey, this ain't the place for it, man.
That's all Elder heard. That ain't me.
King, you walked right into that though.
Yeah, man. That happened to me. It happened to me. It happened to my Joe. Ain't nothing wrong with my yang. I'm gonna tell you from the door, ain't nothing wrong with my yang.
Everything right with the yang. Ain't worried about that. But that actually that happened to me when I was married. You know, I got married. I was a big dude, and eventually one of the major reasons why I got divorced was because I was a big dude. You know, so that was a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Because
so where the ride or die shit at? That's it. That was a condition. See, this is the shit that I'm talking about. All right, listen.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Before you say that, can I just understand?
You better not say.
Summer, come on through.
Nah, go ahead, Summer.
What he just said. I just want to understand what he just said.
Sure.
So he said, you know, you gained weight after you got married.
No, that's not what I said. No, man.
What did you say?
I said I was a big dude when I got married. And
when you got married.
Right. And then the reason.
Okay, I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah, and then the reason why, one of the major reasons why I got divorced was because of my weight. So
that makes no sense. But go ahead, I got you.
It wasn't ride or die.
Well, make it make sense, brother.
Because you came in a big dude. You came in the whole thing as a big dude.
Right.
Was there a condition said that you need to lose weight? Like, I feel like there's something missing.
Well, there's a lot of other things that went into play with how people grow and develop and change, you know, and not everybody grows and matures at the same rate. I believe that our situation was a victim, you know, it was a victim of that because, you know, as she grew and changed one way, I was growing and changing in a different way, and her ways that changed, you know, didn't really help us get closer, unfortunately.
Brown Girl spoke about it. Brown Girl spoke about it in the introduction. She was saying how, you know, she moving this way and moving at this pace, and they moving at this way and at this pace, and so on and so forth. Right. But the grounds wasn't established. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come. You got to lay the shit all out on the table. Like this is some real shit. Like, I mean, what's the condition? I tell you this. I keep it 100, man. I was diagnosed with epilepsy as an adult, right? Never had a seizure in my life. Never did none of that shit. This shit was out of the blue, right? So I wake up in the hospital. And my wife, as soon as I wake up, she said, "Yo, I figured that out. I figured out how all the bills can be taken care of. We just got to make sure you straight."
That's
now, my wife is sick right now. You understand what I'm saying? And Neff know this shit. I never had to cook, clean, any of that shit ever in my life. You understand? I'm learning it now. I'm learning it. I'm trying my best. Right. Like, this is what I'm talking about, ride or die shit. Like, all right, I'm going to pick up where you left off as much as I can do. And if not, I'm going to call in the reinforcements or whatever, and, you know, to see what we can do and make it happen because you know, I'm not a domestic type motherfucker, but I'm going to make it work. You know what I'm saying?
Good job.
My queen need that. So it is what it is. So now, you said the ride or die shit, like, I got some questions for that particular part, because if a motherfucker ride or die, it ain't no conditions to this shit. You understand what I'm saying?
But see, that's that's where the whole people use the term loosely. There's a lot of people using this term and they don't really know the full definition or what that can actually mean in the future. It's just a term that not everybody should really be using because you never know what the circumstances or the situation is. It seems like more so now everybody has this thing where they're trying to fit into something.
Right.
And in order to do that, they're willing to, go that extra mile, tell you whatever you need to hear in order for it to stay beneficial to them until it's not beneficial to them. And then that's when, you wasn't really a ride or die to begin with, comes into play.
So it's about adapting, I guess.
So
that's commitment. It's what you explained about your wife and you, which is amazing and beautiful.
Yeah, super dope.
That's commitment. Definitely. That is what commitment looks like. It's not about. I'm not going to use the term ride or die because I don't use it because I'm not going to die. Okay, I'm not dying for anybody.
I'll ride for you, but like you said,
I know that's right.
I will die.
If it ain't my mom or my kids, something like that.
But the commitment is the thing. I think that commitment is what we're talking about. I think we're all just talking about somebody being committed to your relationship. Mm-hmm. So whether you lay it all out, like Erica said, you lay it all out up front and say, these are the things that I like, these are the things I don't like, this is what I will do, won't do. And he's like, yeah, cool, that's me. All right, baby, all right, cool, we together. And then if something goes wrong, Erica's like, that's my guy, I'm with him. He's not gonna put her into any situation that she doesn't like because she already told him. And that's fine. And people learn and grow as time goes on, and you don't know how that's going to look. That's number one. You don't know how somebody is going to grow. You don't know. Yeah. But say her dude grows into this guy who, I don't know, just does something that she doesn't like. It wasn't on her original list, right? But it's something she doesn't like. She just can't get with. Mm-hmm. She's committed though. That's where it's tested. When your partner is into some other stuff, it's not hurting you. You just don't like it. Or maybe it hurts you to see them there or whatever. Are you committed to supporting them, being there for them? And support doesn't mean that you agree with them. Support means I got you. Like, all right, you going, okay, cool, no problem. We do that a lot as women with you guys. Like, okay, no problem. Go ahead, go for it. Right? And it's cool. But if you have a commitment with somebody, no matter what, your wife didn't know you would form epilepsy at this age. She didn't know that was going to happen, but she loves you. And she wants to be there for you no matter what.
For better or worse, stick or poor.
I call that commitment.
Yeah. Healthy or sick.
And just to kind of double off of what Summers was saying is that, it is true. Like, when you go into something, you can be committed and you're like, I'm going to ride for this person. But like y'all said, sometimes people change and they go different directions. So it's like, for me personally, I've had that situation where I rode, and they had some issues, depression, PTSD, they stopped doing what they needed to do. And I rode it out. But then it got to the point where it was no longer, it started becoming detrimental to me, and my family to ride out with you because I'm committed to you. So I had to step back because I had to worry about me and mine first. Right? Because I had 2 kids that I have to like, you know what? This is not beneficial for them. This environment is not beneficial. And I can ride for you, but if you ain't gonna do what you need to do, then I gotta go. Right? And then if and when you start getting your stuff together for you, then we can talk about us coming back together because I'm still riding, I'm still committed, but I can't do this. I can't be in this situation, in this environment, and I can't have my kids in this environment, So it was never when I went into it, well, I'm not going to ride through this because I knew they had already suffered from some of these issues when I decided I was going to make that commitment. But once they changed and stopped doing what they needed to do to control their situation, I had to step out. I couldn't ride with that. Became detrimental. Okay. So sometimes those conditions change, and you really have to do sometimes what's best for you before you can do what's best for them. You gotta love you before you can love somebody.
That's right.
And so that's really, I think, where with a lot of people when they say they got conditions within that ride, it's not that they want to ride and they're I want to say using the term loosely in that sense, but sometimes that situation is just something that it has just gone in a direction that no matter how committed they are to you, it's just not a good situation.
I agree because I knew someone that was in a situation very similar to that, and that to me is I guess there's different levels to what you consider your, your level of what you really can tolerate. Because when you're dealing with somebody that has issues like that, where it becomes costly and effective for everybody, it now affects everybody within their situation. You do have to make a critical decision on whether or not you choose to stay or leave. And that's just your natural mechanism of you making sure you protect you at all times, no matter what another person may promise to hold and stand by and do for you. When you don't feel safe in a situation, you're supposed to get out.
Right.
Or they help you out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I had a partner who family was into all types of stuff, and when shit got real, you know what I mean? She knew I wasn't built for it. I knew I wasn't built for it. You know what I'm saying? And we just had to have that conversation. Like, that's who she is. That's just her family and how thick and deep they are into whatever they into. You know what I mean? And she didn't want to bring me down. And I was like, just like my homeboys, like, yo, you don't want to get in this car. I'm like, yo, thank you. I appreciate that. But that goes back to what Erica said. Like, you lay down the ground rules of like, what's your limitations? You know what I'm saying? And your boundaries and stuff. And we had that conversation. So, we was riding hard for, 6 years, and then it just got crazy. You know what I'm saying? And we had that conversation, and I was like, I respectfully bow out. Thank you. Because, she loved me enough to protect me from all of that. You know what I'm saying?
That's love right there.
Yeah.
Type of love. And that's why I would fall into that category of the unconditional, because she knew whatever that her and her family was in, it was going to put you in harm's way.
Right.
And she chose you over her own selfishness, for lack of a better way to describe it. So I do have a question, though. I wonder if men are held to the same type ride or die standards or expectations as women are.
Cassandra.
No.
Nope. Never.
Say no.
Why wouldn't we be? Why wouldn't we be?
Y'all should.
No.
That's
bullshit. And if we sit here and I'm gonna tell you, men, I'm a man too. And if we sit here and lie and say we hold ourselves to the same standards as we hold women to, I'ma go on and say something.
all right. Y'all should.
Okay.
Wait.
Should.
I feel like I do, but I don't ever say that I'm just like the guy standing next to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I just feel like I do. I feel like I do. I like to be held accountable. You know what I mean? Because I'm an accountability ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you are.
All right now.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like people who know me personally and shit.
You pay your taxes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can't help it. It's just like I guess it's like a altruistic like point of view or whatever. But it's just like yeah, you know what I'm saying? When me and Erica done had conversations as homies, and she be like, you full of shit right now. I'm like, yo, I am, right? And we just laugh it, but we address it at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We address it at the same time, and we go forward onto the things that I need to do to even if it's like a safety situation, it's the things that I have to do to ensure her safety. It's the things that I have to do to make sure that I'm not out here on no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I hold myself to the standard. You know what I'm saying? But I also agree with what you're saying, Herb, that not a lot of men do that. You know what I'm saying?
I think because the term was coined more for women to be influenced more by it than the man.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like men have more conditions in regards to when and why they will and how they will ride for a woman in comparison to a woman, because us as women, we're nurturers. We're going to ride, we're going to support, we're going to help try to bring you up and help you be the best that you can be. But men want women to come and already be that, and they want that. So they're different, they're made different, so they have more standards and conditions and certain things that need to be met before they feel that they can or will do that. And you have to prove yourself to them before they will actually do it, which I think is half behind backwards. But
okay. I agree with that.
I didn't say it wasn't ass back.
I gotta hold on, because the ass backwards part. Now, see, I gotta say something about this now, because there are a couple things that are different. Okay, so if we are to accept the fact that men and women are different, okay, there are different things that women need from men than there are that men need from women. Okay, so when it comes to certain things that we need from women, they're not always the same that the woman need for the men. For instance, we provide protection, security, and they need to know that we can do that from jump. Right? Because if we don't do that, if it looks like we don't, then we're out, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because if you can't fight, you can't go.
Right.
If it looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
So is it wrong to say that men have different expectations and things that they want from a woman up front, and women also have things that they need to see from a man up front in order for them to feel secure with that person?
So you say it kind of like balances out.
I think it's a fair statement, and I think it's a safe statement. But I'm gonna go on into that later.
I think because of the phrase "ride or die," the way it came about, it's more so a phrase that a man was using who already knew what he wanted, what his plans were for a particular female, but she's in the midst of auditioning for that role. So then it becomes, you know what I'm saying? Then it becomes, I'm willing to do this, that, and the third to prove my loyalty and everything to you. You know, the submissive part. It's just a play of words. You see what I'm saying? That at some time and point, it got taken way too maybe literal, but at the same time, it is a true statement. But it depends on the two people involved using that phrase. Like a marriage, a solid marriage, you're supposed to be ride or die for each other. But that comes along with that territory or a long-term relationship, whatever you want. But when you out here just playing a game in the street and you playing with people's feelings and whatnot, that's a term used of manipulation.
Okay. So it's like yielded. It's like yielded to his leadership.
Before you move on, because I need him to talk more about. I need to hear more about that.
Who's him? Oh, who's him?
King?
Oh,
okay, King.
Because the whole safe answer, that was cute. It was a nice answer.
No, it was safe. It was safe. It was real safe. It was umbrella than a motherfucker too. It was umbrella than a motherfucker. It could.
I tried to help you pass it, dog. I tried to help you.
Listen, hey, Summer. If the rain was falling, see, that's what the umbrella for. The rain is falling. You protected under the bullshit he just said. But go ahead.
I'm going to poke a hole in the umbrella real quick.
Oh boy.
Go ahead.
Okay, and it's just my understanding. So I do know that men have gender roles, right? And then we have gender roles, and it's been that way forever. And I think it's okay. I think it's right.
Some people do, some people don't. But yeah.
Right? And here's where I agree with that too. Some people just can't do the thing that they're supposed to be able to do.
Yeah,
like some women can't cook.
That's true.
They're beautiful women. They're nice women. They're
some men can't protect.
Some men.
Yeah, but he'll hold the umbrella for you. But listen, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Some men, okay, I think that there's levels to this because I'm glad he said, and some men can't protect because we're talking about a deal breaker. That's a deal breaker. If you can't cook, that may not be a deal breaker, or I don't know, but you can't protect this household. That's a deal breaker. Now let's talk about real quick the whole ride or die part. And do you expect the same thing from the woman that you expect from the man? Hell no. Hell no. Because a woman is expected to be 100% focused on him and faithful. And a man is supposed to just provide. In that situation, that whole ride or die street situation, it ain't about love all the time. It's about
necessity. It's about necessity.
I need you here. I'm gonna do me, but I need you to do you. But you doing me too. I ain't doing you. You doing me. So and it's not balanced.
I mean, it's leadership.
It is. Is it balanced in the situation that it's used for? Because in our everyday, our everyday situation for, you know, what you're talking about with commitment, like in a regular marriage or somebody that ain't out banging in the streets, ain't out doing all this kind of crazy stuff, that ain't the way to go. We see that hundreds of times over and over and over again, and it leads to disaster every time because somebody's needs are not getting met. However, put in the correct situation, right, in the right place, that's what works in that world, in that society, in that place, which is why it's important to make sure that the definition of what you consider ride or die is clear from the jump, because if y'all not on the same page, y'all not even gonna be talking the same language, and y'all gonna end up broken down anyway.
Now, I think you done folded the umbrella up. Now listen.
You put it away.
Yeah, he put the umbrella with
There you
it.
go.
But listen, I tell you this. All right, let's be sociologists here real quick. Right? Anybody in here ever been exposed to a lot of different relationships, whether it be older, younger, and so on and so forth? Maybe your uncle, your aunt, stuff like that, your grandma, grandpa, whatever have you, right? Let's take a survey, right? How many women do you know that tolerated cheating acts over men that tolerated cheating acts? Now, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to listen to the answers here. I'm going to put myself on mute. I'm going to unfold my umbrella.
My answer's quick. Nowadays, it's almost equal. Almost equal. Back in the day, all the women stayed. For the most part, in my experiences, all the women stayed. But nowadays, men are tolerating cheating women and women are tolerating cheating men.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's my experience. My experience is about 50-50. But when I look at the elders, like when I look at my peers, 50-50. And that's since like I'm 40 now. That's since I was like 20. But as far as like the elders, I would have to agree that it was more so the women tolerating. And that wasn't my direct experience. That was like friends, parents, and grandparents and stuff like that. You know, I don't know if my parents had a good way of like keeping it away from the children and everybody else, but I didn't experience it that too much in like my direct, environment. You know what I'm saying?
So my
with grandparents, uncles, and stuff like that.
My grandpa had two families. And my grandmother stayed and everything. So it was my dad and his siblings were in Morristown, and my Aunt Karen and her mother were in Camden and everything. My grandmother knew about the other family, but I think, back in the day, the reason why they stayed is they may not have had the financial, the money to leave and everything. They may not have had anything that they would have been able to pick up their family and leave. So with that, but today I say 50-50 on both sides, like everybody else did. Like I do see men staying with women, and I do see women staying with men, but I also see, and I notice that the more financially secure a woman is, the less I notice her accepting a cheating dude. And then same vice versa. Like the more, the more secure that a man is, I don't see him dealing with tolerating a cheating woman. So it comes to levels there too. But I'm curious, Cassandra, because you've been silent, girl. What you think?
Like, whether it's a man cheating or whether it's a woman cheating. First of all, I want to say that ride or die is like a category. It's a category. Whether it's a part of your relationship or a part of your process or whatever the case may be, I think it goes in, I think it goes out. Whether it's a man or a woman cheating, I don't think that you should tolerate that at all. I think that you should just get out of it, because it starts chipping away at you as a person. It starts changing you, and it starts changing how you're going to be in a relationship, period. So like, I think that you shouldn't even deal with that anyway. Anything that's going to change you and make you be different than what you want to be, I don't think you should be down with that.
Or at least the worst version of you,
The worst version of you. And that worst version of you is somebody you don't even like. So why am I going to live with somebody I don't like?
And I'll be talking about that person and then become her. But here's a question for the ladies real quick. Who asked us to be ride or die? Like, why did we just jump in and subscribe to this? Is that something you were ever say, hey, I need you to be, or did we just jump in with both feet based off of our perception of what men need?
I think that comes from that nurturing side that we have in us, that's pretty much embedded in us as women. As a woman, you see something broken or something that may appear broken or needs to be fixed, we have that tendency to want to jump in head first and fix it, or think we have the solution to the issue.
I have a kind of a counter question before any of the ladies answer back again. But is there any correlation to like the bad boy phase thing from early on in life?
For sure.
I please the fifth.
This is the first episode that I've heard her plead the fifth.
Uh-oh.
There's some shit going on in the background, and we can't hear it.
I can ask one question though, real fast. Brown girl, can you please repeat one time? I'm sorry if y'all didn't hear the interruption that I heard, so I couldn't hear the whole question that you asked.
Oh, the question. Who asked us to be ride or die? Like, is that something that we just jumped in with both feet because that was what we expected men to want from us? I'm just trying to figure out how we decided this was something we were going to subscribe to.
He hit that on the head right there. He hit that on the head. Nobody was asked to do it. It's about the type of person that you're dating and your personal ability to be individual at that age. A lot of us at that age did not have the ability to be individual because we're still trying to figure ourselves out. So the majority of, and I don't know about y'all, but I grew up in the hood. So the majority of the gentlemen in my neighborhood were selling drugs or, you know, not going to school or whatever. I never picked from that pool, okay? That wasn't my pool. I was nerdy. I was getting bused to schools. I picked from them schools for my boyfriend because I didn't want to date the dude on my block. He wasn't my kind, right? He was my homie though, but he wasn't my kind. But I think you hit it right on the head. That ride or die thing, some women sometimes, they don't open their mouths and ask questions. They assume what men want and fear losing the man for whatever reason, probably because of so many of us, so little view. And then they make the choice to be ride or die or to support something and then question themselves later, like, why did I do that? And then the guy always says the famous quote, I ain't asked you to do that. You know, stuff like that.
You knew what I was about. You knew what I was about. So guess what? You knew what I was about. Well,
I ain't
Brother
signing off
King,
on that.
well, Brother King said it, and I think you kind of said it too. With leads to my question is like, you said the guys that you were dating, and I was just thinking like, well, the guys that you were seeking, because you know, if it was like the bad boy phase, and I know you said that you dated the nerd, it was the bad boy phase, and then. You know, no one really had to ask you because if that's what you're seeking, then that's what you feel like you had to be in the first place. You know what I mean? Just because like, I want that bad guy, so I got to be the ride or die chick in the context of all the dangerous shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I only had one bad boy boyfriend, just one. That was it. That's all I needed. And I think I was like 15 or 16. I'm like, he's broke. He's always getting locked up. You know, he don't even speak, you know, the Queen's English or English.
Not the
He's
King's
cute
English.
though. He's so fine.
Can't take him nowhere.
I'm just saying.
This the trophy boyfriend. Can't take him nowhere.
Portia, what was you gonna say?
Good shit, man.
I don't like that.
I like that.
I don't like
That's
that
some
at all.
Excuse me. My name is Summer. I'm talking about me and what I like.
I got you.
Portia, what you talking about?
I got you.
I just want to kind of address. Well, I guess I'll address all three questions. So, like, for example, me personally, my whole idea of the ride or die, I think initially came from what I saw growing up, right? So, like, I had a grandmother, and I'm just going to use her as an example right now. She was a ride or die for her husband, right? For when she was with my grandfather, and then her husband after that, right? Now, and in the terms of ride or die, because neither one of them are what you would consider were hood guys, you know, they were business guys doing their things, doing what they had to do. But through the ups and downs, through the good, the bad, the cheating, the not cheating, you know, all of it, right? She was there. She supported them. She stayed, right? My aunt, her husband went off and had a whole nother family while they were married, but then he came back. So I saw these women through good and bad, not saying it was a good thing or a bad thing, right? I'm not judging the choices that they made in their relationships. But I grew up around these women who had husbands or men in their lives that through the ups and downs, they were there. They stuck through and they worked through whatever it was until they couldn't work through it anymore, till the wheels fell off and then they separated, right? And I saw that. So I think for me personally, when I started my whole dating thing, it was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna ride for this. I'm gonna stick it through with this person. This is, you know, that person. I was always that. I'm gonna grab onto this one. I thought I was gonna, you know, get out of high school, go to college, and then get married right out of college, have kids, and then have that whole happy life. You know, I was gonna marry my high school sweetheart. And but not having a high school sweetheart per se kind of messed that up in itself. that whole idea, right?
Yeah, that's how I'm smiling. Yep. That's it up.
But it was that whole idea to me that I wanted a certain thing, so I had to do certain things to get that and to hold on to it, right? So I was going to be that person that rode out with that person that I committed to at whatever stage that was going to be. Now, yes, I did go through the bad boy stage.
Wait a minute, what was this?
The bad boy stage. Yes, because so I dated when I was younger, I dated some good guys, but then I also, there was one, I'm not gonna say I should have never left him to go and do other stuff. But I did. I was young. I was like, you know what? I want this type of relationship. This is not going to work this way because of the situation, age difference, whatever the case may be. I didn't think it was going to be what I wanted it to be, the way I wanted it to be. So I went elsewhere, right? Had a whole bunch of problems there, and then just dated a couple of bad guys, guys that were running the streets, doing different things after that for a little while, until I decided, what, I don't want this no more. I don't want that type of person to even be committed to. I want something different for my life. And so I changed that, and it was me riding looked different when I was dating someone that was in the streets, a hood guy. But that whole idea of me being a ride or die has been something that I've seen my whole life. And therefore, that's how that became. So it wasn't because I was dating hood guys that I had this idea, oh, I'm going to ride or I'm going to be a ride or die. It's because of what I saw growing up that kind of influenced the type of woman or the type of relationships I wanted to have. But then how that looked in regards to me having that commitment and riding for that person changed as I matured.
I'm with you on that. And like Summer said, I'm from the inner city myself. I'm from the hood myself. And I think the ride or die thing is out of necessity. You know what I mean? Like, all right, like I'm in school now, and I'll tell you, Portia, I had the privilege of marrying my high school sweetheart. You know what I mean? That's only because I got my GED at 34. But I'll tell you about that later. You know what I mean? So check. She was with me when I was in high school, I guess, right? So check. So check it. So,
I like that thought process. Let me see.
For real.
Kids now. So maybe if I meet him now, he'll be my high school sweetheart. I looked at that. I like that idea. There you go.
So no, but now ride or die is all right. You cook it clean this week or whatever while I go study. We both back in school, you know what I mean, trying to, further our education, to excel at the career and stuff like that. So, beautiful. All right, so if it's your study time, I watch the kids and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And I might be bitching about it. Yeah, man. I gotta cook this week and shit like that because she gotta go study and shit. You know what I mean? Want to be all smart and shit. Yeah, say them big ass words like King be doing every motherfucking episode.
Get all of them right.
Sounding real churlish right now, I heard.
Huh?
You sounding real churlish right now.
Who? Churlish.
Yeah, you sounding real churlish.
Wait a minute. He wants to go ahead.
Yeah.
He wants to go ahead and the shit must have popped up on the phone. You know how the dictionary just be popping up and teach you new words and shit like that. King wants to tell us a new word. Tell us a new stupid ass word. Come on, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be right here. Tell us your dumb ass word.
Churlish, rude in a mean-spirited and surly way.
That was just a regular word, man.
What was it? It
was churlish.
That's nothing regular about no fucking churlish.
That's the first time I heard it. I thought churlish was a person. That must be one of their homies.
I definitely thought he mispronounced childish.
I'm about to Google.
Churlish.
I didn't see churlish on here. Did she on here?
It's rude, mean, it's rude.
You know what? King, it's a fucking word that just throws the whole podcast off. That's what it is. If you want to keep it 100, that's what it is. It's a word.
It only got 2 syllables.
That's a small word.
How many syllables it
You got
is?
2 syllables. It's a little word.
I don't ever want to play you in Scrabble.
No,
I'm gonna question everything.
I'm unbeatable.
I'm churl. That shit says peasant like. I'm cracking up right now. Stingy, mean, difficult to work with, to deal with.
Yo, I'm tired of this shit. Yes, he's churlish. The
Boorish, rude.
You just said that. You know what? Change your name. Your name is churlish for now on because you're difficult to work with.
God, I'll never forget you.
No, you difficult. You're difficult to work with. Who the fuck does this? Every
Hey,
episode.
listen, I'm gonna tell you what kind of lady that you need. You need a sapiosexual.
I'm
Yeah,
done.
that's what you need.
Done.
All right, let me put that on my
once
Facebook.
Once you find that, you good to go.
I'm done. I'm gonna just sit back and just listen for
Your
the rest
next
of it. I
profile
appreciate y'all.
includes
I appreciate
Seriously.
Seriously. And that Sapios and all that shit. Girlishes. This is twice. And then you gonna join in on the shit, Brown Belt.
I'm trying to help my brother out.
We
like I
were
know
supposed to be
I know
hip-hop.
he's looking for a lady. He's looking for the right thing, and that's what he needs to have.
I'm your brother too. Help
You
me.
married. I'm trying to get him to happily ever
I know.
afters.
It helped me comprehend.
Thank you, Brown girl. I appreciate that.
I got you. And just like I know you would have me if you had like a 6'2" tall single friend with no kids and great credit.
They don't make that motherfucker. I'll tell you that. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, bro. They don't make that.
If we put orders in, please send me somebody that is above 6'3".
What?
Please, I'm tired of talking to people that come to my chest. I'm 6'3".
Oh,
You're
okay,
6'3"?
okay. Then that makes sense.
I'm 6'3".
That makes
And here
sense.
I am taking
But
men that's
don't
like
be
6'6".
4 foot nothing. Talking about you need
Anybody-
6'3".
Anybody else put orders? Anybody else? Sandra, you good?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
But since we talking orders, since we're wondering about what each other likes and everything, let's talk about, let's transition to like, and this is something I always hear from my male friends, and Big, me and you, we go back and forth with this a lot, about men's feelings in these relationships, a lot of men that I hear are saying that they feel like their feelings and their needs are not even considered when in relationships. As I put my order in for the
Since you said let me shit. Oh, all right. Yo, we're not allowed to say she gotta be a certain height, a certain waist size, certain hairstyle, boy. We get chopped down, yo. On
but that's already engendered. Y'all been getting your ways for centuries.
On my Facebook page, I got a campaign. I just be clowning, but my campaign is bring back the half fro. You know what I'm saying? Why I gotta have a baldy? Why can't I have half and half?
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Boom, boom. What if that's how I feel? And and I hashtag it protective hairstyle because I use the same exact reasoning. You know what I mean? If you shave your hair every day, you get razor bumps, all this other stuff. So sometimes I let my curls go out and I have a sunroof and everybody's telling me to cut my hair. I will look better and be more attractive to them.
Bro, I have a whole technique to try to do that right. And it's a whole process and it takes a week to do all of it one day at a time.
Boom.
Keep it right so it's not bubbling up on the back.
That's right. Because then if I get the keloids in the back of my neck, you're going to have a problem with that.
Right.
Oh my God.
So getting back to what the sister said, like how come we can't have physical preferences? We get dragged. The moment we say
already
something.
But see, my thing is, y'all already do. That's why you got all these women running around here getting fake asses and titties and lips and shit like that because they trying to be aesthetically appeasing to men. Because men want women that look like women in the video vixen. The video vixen. That's what they want. Not saying all men. Not saying all men, but majority of men. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a big nigga. I always been, right? Always been, big sumo, massive wall walking ass nigga, right? And you know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute, hold on.
Whoa.
Yeah, walking wall, nigga, walking wall, massive nigga. You know what I mean?
Walking wall.
Walking wall, nigga.
Walking wall.
I'm 6'6", 390 pounds, my nigga.
Okay,
I'm a big nigga.
I'm gonna shut up right now. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? I almost got a duck when I walk in the room.
Like, bro, for real though.
There go your protection, lady.
And if a sister don't like that, I do not blame all women for that. I do not go to fly to DR to try to get shorter or that slackable suction or anything else. I move on. I go where I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that even though men might have this preference, the men that you talk to have this preference, it is on you to make a choice on what you want for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, if you get a boob job and then say that I got that boob job predicated on what men want, I'm like, whoa, that's a fallacy. And to me, that's a fallacy in you, because I'm like, well, when are you going to ride for yourself, sis? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then let me go back to what I said about accountability. I'm going to be like, whoa, I don't even want to talk to you if that's what you did. You pretty much mutilated your body because of what these imaginary men said, because none of them are really there with you for the ride or die to say, babe, I want you to get that boob job and I'm gonna pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna change myself to the point of surgery to be more desirable to a woman because she don't like me as is. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. It took me a long time to adjust to this. Like, bro, I was always the tallest, the skinniest. I was up and down. I'm still up and down.
Right.
But I never said, oh, I'm gonna go out here and do what I gotta do because I gotta get some ass and titty. I ain't doing it. I'm not going under the knife, not unless it's medically necessary for things of that sort. I can't do it. I can't do it. And me personally, because of getting teased and stuff like that growing up in school and whatnot when we were kids, I would never encourage somebody to do something like that just to please somebody else. But for some people, it's an actual sickness. They look in the mirror and can't stand themselves enough so where they will go out and do it and keep getting cosmetic surgeries. And this is sad. It really is.
Yeah, I'm so okay with them saying they did it for themselves, but don't blame it on me as a black man because I didn't actually. You know what I'm saying?
The black man's standard of beauty and the white man's standard of beauty is totally different. It's not the same. And I think we all uncover something that we probably need to think about later or something, but just the idea of communication. Like,
and comprehension.
Watching your grandmother ride or die for men who walked in and out. And we all had the same grandma, okay? I had the same grandma. Walking in and out and watching her cook, clean to the point where she herself just lost herself, right? She never talked about it to my mom. She never said, even at an older age, right? I'm sorry you had to see your grandfather do this. I'm sorry that this happened. I'm sorry this happened, or whatever. Or even just talking about it to her and say, don't ever let a man treat you like that, or something, right? Or even if she didn't have the wherewithal while she was in the relationship, there was never a follow-up conversation, even 20, 30 years later, like, I see you, right? Because my mom obviously followed in those footsteps, right? I see what you're doing, and I'm sorry that you think that you have to endure this because I did, right? And those conversations, like our parents and grandparents, they're not a whole as a community. That's why I really agree with you saying ride or die. We all need to be doing that for each other. Like, we really do. But I just think that as a community, we've suffered so much in this country as people. And it's like an onion. It's so many things that we had to endure that when you get down to the nucleus of an actual family, like a household, right? Just like people have issues. People have, and they do the best they can. But when you grow up and you know this shit wrong, and you know your daughter's following in your footsteps, or your son is following in your footsteps, and now you know better, tell them.
Help them out.
Yeah.
We don't do that to each other. We don't talk.
I think being politically correct and actually trusting your gut is probably one of the things that have us set back. And because it's not just a woman thing, because you got men who, all right, let's say you got men who, and this is real, these are factual shit. This is factual shit, Summer. You got men who tolerated cheating, right? But from a masculine man, King Kong, ain't got nothing on me type standpoint, you know what I mean? He was sheltered from his homeboys because, you know what I'm saying? Politically, this ain't where it's at. So he's scared. You know what I mean? It's heart pumping. He don't want nobody to find out anything. He wants to burn out all evidence and so on and so forth. And he's not confident in his decision making. And I think that for a woman, it may be something similar. She's not confident that it's okay to leave this guy. She may not be confident because this it doesn't fit my description of ride or die. You know what I mean? My description, what was told to me, what was showed to me was these are unconditional circumstances. So therefore, like, I gotta go ahead and stick to the script. You know what I mean? And just like it is for that man that goes against the I'm only saying go against the grain because I would like to put it this way. God forbid my wife stepped out on me. I would like to forgive her. I just be having nightmares and shit. So with that being said, like, I know for me, I would have to, even if it's temporary, you know what I'm saying? I know I would have to, you know, go down the street or something, you know what I mean? Or whatever have you, you know what I'm saying? But we have a perspective of what ride or die is. And even if we tell ourselves that ride or die doesn't feel right, we scared to go against the grain. You know what I mean?
No, I ain't never scared.
It's just my opinion,
I
brother.
feel you, though.
It's just my opinion.
I feel you. I have no problem speaking about the pink elephant in the middle of the room, but I also know that is a lacking position to play in society. Like, I totally get what you're saying. I totally do, and I do agree that. And a lot of times people lead to me to speak the truth, so to speak, or to speak what nobody's talking about, to the point where that's part of a personality trait for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I don't even take on my own opinion because I'm going to take on the opinion of people of what's not being covered. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's redundant if everyone is talking about the same thing or agreeing or whatever. So I'm like, whether I agree or not, let me add some controversy to the situation because there's no growth without it. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, like, I have no problem speaking up or being politically incorrect or anything like that, because a lot of times that's what people are thinking, and they don't have the guts or the guts to say it, as the example of the guy that you as a guy you gave an example of. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that are going unsaid because we follow, it's the pack behavior, it's the echo chamber. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We follow what everybody else is saying. Like, even if it's online, like, somebody don't want to be dragged. Like, I'm in the comfort of my own home, drinking some wine. I'm gonna crack my knuckles and troll all of y'all. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna agree with you based on fear that you're not gonna like me. Who are you for real? Who are you for real? You know what I'm saying? So I have no problem saying that, and that's why I use hashtags like protective hairstyles and stuff like that, just to show, like, sometimes we this double standard doesn't get addressed. And that goes back to what Erica was saying. Like, when do brothers really have a chance to speak about preference or to talk about their needs and things like that? That's one thing we never get to talk about because we're always bombarded with, you know what I'm saying, what we're doing wrong, instead of why we did it that way. You know what I mean? It could lead to that we wasn't getting our say in a relationship, or we wasn't getting what we need in a relationship, or even in a conversation. Sometimes you're in a room full of hurt people and you say the wrong thing, they don't care. Them emotions start flaring up. They don't care where you was going.
Hurt people.
They just gonna all follow each other and drag you, instead of hearing anything that you got to say. So it's just like, okay, be hurt. I'm gonna go camping and enjoy myself. I'm sorry. I'm honest. I'm sorry y'all not really ready for that conversation. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I mean? You know, in those situations, like, whether it be a room full of men and they're hurt men and the sister says something that's honest and they go off, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? If you shut down truth, like, what are you really getting out of that? What are you really getting out of that?
Right.
To me, I'm like,
You can't shut it down. You can't shut it down.
I'll be the bad guy.
You stunting your own growth, yeah.
True.
If I don't want to receive you, there's not nothing that you can tell me. Right. So it's like, if the things I went through and how I was being treated, by a man, made me change. It's like not the next relationship. He gonna have a whole problem if I'm not healed from it.
Take a miracle from God.
Yes. I can't. I'm not gonna hear nothing he has to say. And if he says something to me I don't like, it sounds like the other dude. So it's like it goes on and on, So I gotta heal myself from it. Take some time, get myself together, and be able to receive, or else ain't nothing happening.
And then I'm out because I'm not dealing with that. And I become another name on the list of niggas ain't shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We didn't even get to have a full dialogue about it, but I become this long line of niggas ain't shit. So we all start looking like that. But if you stop and think about it, whoa, I didn't even hear nothing he had to say.
I ain't hear nothing you had to say.
You know,
I
sometimes,
shut it down.
and sometimes that has to be enough for you to be able to move on. Sometimes you can't get that closure or that credit for doing things the right way. Sometimes you just have to say, this is what it is. I know who I am. I know what I did. She might not.
I think
and I just got to go forward with it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's refreshing when a person tell you straight up like what they like, what they don't like. I think it's refreshing because we in a time now, and we've been in it for a long time, where people don't really tell you straight up who they are, what they want, what they like. Out of the fear that they gonna lose out on getting to know you. But sometimes when you just say it up front, it weans out so much of the bullshit.
Oh, it feels so good.
You know, you're able to just move on.
Right.
I come to a understanding that some people don't even tell themselves what they like, right? They're telling somebody else what they like.
Damn. They're lying to themselves for so long.
Self-love. It's self-love.
Exactly. And the thing is that sometimes we miss how can I say, we don't identify ourselves with who we truly are. We identify ourselves with culture. We identify ourselves with adopted thought.
Who other people see us as.
Exactly. Or what the role is for me to be in this community. So saying that, our objective today, which actually I want to give all thanks to Brown Girl for coming up with this topic. One, you know what I mean? And our objective is basically to come to a better understanding of each side in efforts to increase their relationship experience in the African American community.
Yes.
Now, do you guys think we achieved our goal?
I think we did. And I think we have so much more to do.
Right.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what this platform is all about. This platform is all about growth. Go ahead.
I have to say that each time that I watch a podcast or am a part of it, I learn something. And I'm a type of person where I need to learn something just about every day, every other day, because it feeds me. You know what I mean? And I love being a part of the podcast and sometimes just sitting back watching them because you learn a lot. And it's refreshing to know that you got other people out here that's kind of like-minded like you. You know what I mean? When you get to a certain age and you wean out all of the fake and phony stuff, you just want to get right down to the meat and, you know what I mean, the meat of everything. And it's so refreshing. I just got to be honest with y'all. Today was one of those rough days for me. Today is my daughter's birthday. She would have been turning 16. And she passed away when I first had her. And I was really feeling in the dumps today. I really just wanted to take the day to myself.
I want to hug you.
I do too. I do. I'm reaching out and hugging you.
Oh my God.
Thank you, ladies.
I'm short, so I gotta hug up. I'm only 5'9". I gotta hug up. I'm only 5'9".
Oh,
I was talking to my brother earlier, and he heard call, and he said, well, I was just calling to check up on you. I know what today is, and I wanted to know if you wanted to attend the podcast today. So essentially, we started talking, and what was supposed to be like a 5-minute conversation turned into about a 45 minutes.
That's her.
And I was like, you know what? I said, you know what? I'm going to attend today's podcast because I think I need that to get me through the rest of my day. And I really, really appreciate being, in tune with quite a few people that, have that same thinking plan. It's very refreshing. So thank you all for that.
Absolutely.
We love you.
Yeah.
I love y'all too.
Thank you.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this started as a dream. This podcast started as a dream. And as a community, we've come together and made it happen. It's not just for us. It's for the community. Every episode is about progression.
Right.
Every episode is about us telling each other that, yo, we human. Every episode is about, yo, I want to be better today than I was yesterday.
Right.
And the hair is so much beautiful, so many beautiful things. I wish I had one of the big ass words, King. You know what I mean? You know. But
He's a mess.
I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the community, and I know that this community is gonna get so much stronger. Cassandra, what's your closing comment?
Closing comments. Whether you're a man or you're a woman, you should always be able to live in your own skin and be able to hold down whatever you want to hold down. Ride or die is a category. Whether you want to float into it, in and out of it or not, that's up to you. But as far as being in a relationship, you should be able to hold down your person that you love to the fullest, no matter the platform.
Sure. Thank you so much, man. Mr. Big.
Yeah. Let's end the double standards. You know what I mean? If you can rock a protective hairstyle, I can rock a protective hairstyle. You know.
Then go on rock your protective hairstyle. I ain't even going to
I just cut my shit.
I don't even know what the fuck that
go
is.
Ahead.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
You know what I mean? Like if you know,
I just told you I had a GD. I don't know what the fuck that is.
You know what I mean? If you got body image issues but you got these different standards, don't think it's not vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be fair in this. That's just that. You know what I'm saying? Don't have your expectations and your standards of a male counterpart so high that it makes him unattainable to you. You know what I mean? Because that's clearly what's happening in a lot of situations. You know what I'm saying? If you 4'0" and you want somebody 6'5", what about the sister who's 6'3"? Come on, man, grab that brother that's 5'4". He got you. And you can still wear heels. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I was being greedy. Okay.
That's right.
It's a new day, right?
I've been attacked, by the way. But go ahead.
Miss Portia.
I just want to say, be true to yourself. Be honest with yourself and with whoever it is that you're with. Communication is key, so when you communicate and you get to know that person and y'all get on the same page, that will make everything move more smoother. Being true to yourself without compromising. You can ride for someone, but don't compromise who you are to be with that person. Don't let somebody make you or ask you to compromise who you are, to ride for them. And the same expectation. So whatever you're willing to do and you're able to do to be in that relationship or with someone, expect that same level from that person. Don't accept anything less. And that's it.
Yeah.
Me? I have to piggyback off of what Miss Portia said, because I do believe communication is key, but I also have to add in because over the years, I've learned you could communicate with a person, but the comprehension is not always there. And that's a key factor in it as well. If you can communicate, you got to be able to comprehend. And I think some people, don't comprehend, and that's where sometimes the lines get blurred. I also want to say in my closing remarks, Miss Brown Girl, I'm loving your hair. Miss Summer, I'm loving your Big, like I said, you want to get your roof put back on. I ain't got no problems with it. We're not discriminating. The protective hairstyle is, you put hair on top of your hair or blend it into your hair to protect your hair.
So when brothers talk about sisters and they weaves, the sisters be like, "That's a protective hairstyle." But I get sisters tell me all the time, when I let my hair grow out, it grows everywhere, but in this area, right?
So and you got the George Jefferson going on?
I got the George Jefferson. I got a hashtag for it.
So it's unprotected.
That's right. Bring back the Jefferson.
Okay.
Oh, man. No, when I let it grow out,
he has a burnable hairstyle right there. That's what he said.
Right. And when I let it grow in, it's because I don't want razor bumps. So it's a protective hairstyle at that point.
Oh.
The Jefferson is. You know what I'm saying?
They have to get a closure for the closures.
Sure.
Don't play. They got those. Don't play. They got them.
They got them.
They got them.
Get the whole laptop.
They got the whole
I'm
thing.
just wondering how many men is walking around here with them closures on, because when I seen the tutorial, they was doing a thing. I was like,
they got beards and everything.
Homie Ruth was missing. Yes.
They got beards and everything. Summer, what's going on? I know you got.
Sorry, Summer. Come on.
Y'all cracking me up. Okay, closing remarks. Okay, so my closing remarks. Thank you for inviting me, Erica, and gentlemen, queens and kings. I'm so proud to be amongst you tonight. I really do enjoy things like this, and I think we need to do more of this. And my advice, I guess, to everyone is to heal. And it takes time. And I know we have personal needs and desires, but you gotta cut that off for a second and deal with your shit. It's okay. It is okay if you're 20. It's okay if you're 50 to deal with your shit. But I promise you, you will be an amazing version of yourself if you allow yourself peace and time to heal.
Right.
And it starts
That is so true.
from Ghana. It starts from other countries in Africa that decided that we were going to be here and in the Caribbean and everywhere else. Like, we got to know the whole story about who we are to fix the shit. So take some time and read as well. Heal yourself, read, and practice love. Just love as many people, starting with you, as you can.
Thank you, Queen. I definitely gonna take that. I'm gonna take that advice.
That's my friend.
I know where you came from and know where you going.
That's
Amen.
right. That's right.
And y'all coming with me.
That's right. That's right. Now, my old ass shit. That's all right. I'm cool. I'm all right with aging. Shit, I'm still here. God damn it. How about that one?
That's
No,
right.
that's right.
I'm aging a little older come Tuesdays, and
yeah.
I'm older than you. So yes,
Yeah,
y'all cut my little brother some slack, please.
Please do, please.
Promise.
So now I gotta go to the greatest host. Yeah, ain't nobody no co-host on here. We all hosts. So I gotta go to the greatest host we in podcast. I'm gonna say a podcast present, and definitely down the line it's gonna be podcast history. I gotta go to King first because I gotta leave the Queen to set it off for the last. Go ahead, King.
First off, I really appreciate everybody for coming on. You guys had amazing contributions to this Brown Girl. This was a fantastic idea for a topic. I absolutely loved it. But what I wanted to make sure that I leave y'all with is just the understanding of who you are and accepting that everyone is not the same as you. Everybody is different, and our differences should not be things that we fight against. It should be things that are celebrated. We should be able to take the time to get to learn someone and be excited about other things and other people, because different perspectives on the way this world works is how we grow. That is how we mature. That is how we find out different things and progress forward. So continue to do that with each other. Continue to celebrate us as differences, whether it be man, woman, hood, suburb, gay, straight, whatever it is. Celebrate these differences, because we are all people and we're all here and we're all trying to progress.
Beautiful. Thank you, King. Now on to the great Brown Girl. Listen, first of all, let me say thank you. Thank you, Brown Girl, for bringing this topic to us. Thank you, Brown Girl, for setting the foundation. Thank you, Brown Girl, for being the light. Thank you, Brown Girl, for bringing the swag.
Y'all about to make me cry.
There's a thousand other things that I can thank you for, but we limited on time now, right? So I'll text you, okay? Right. Queen, please give us your closing comments.
So everybody's closing comments were amazing, and y'all stole from me because everybody said what I was going to say. But one thing I will definitely say, and want to close this out with, is no matter what, before you get into any relationship, be more aware of who you are and identify your needs. Because if you walk into a relationship or any type of exchange with another human and you don't know what you need, you don't know what your deal breakers are, you're basically walking in to play a role in the relationship that they designed. So you gotta know what you need and what you can't deal with. And at the end of the day, one of the things that I like to remind myself from time to time, when it comes to the love that you're putting out in the world, ask yourself if you would be happy if your child received that same type of love. So, and if the answer is no, maybe you need to take a step back and see what you're putting out.
That's right.
That's all I got.
No,
factual.
With a mic. I got a mic. I got a mic. I'm gonna just drop
that shit.
shit.
That's fine.
Drop that shit. Yeah.
Yes.
So wear my vest next time.
Dear community, I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate this community, how much I love this community, how much this community is worthy of the love and appreciation by not just myself, but so many people who have been exposed to this podcast, people who haven't been exposed to this podcast. Guess what? They're affected by, in some type of way, what we bring to the table. All right. I will reiterate, you know what I mean, what the Queens was saying. Summer and Brown Girl, you clearly stated something that I tell clients all the time. Identify and then address. We cannot address anything. We cannot live the life we want to live until we pinpoint what our true issues are, what our true existence is, what our true identity is. Nothing can come before that. You have to identify who you truly are, and then the relationship you get in, make sure it complements who you are, and make sure it complements who you want to be. All right. With that being said, I think we made a beautiful marriage today. I think we've created the how can I say the aura. We set the foundation for what we want to see in the future. Somebody's going to pick this shit up. Somebody's going to click onto it. Somebody's going to listen to this podcast and grow. Just like them fucking plants that Big had in his back.
Yeah, you ain't seen shit. That was just 1 or 2, baby. They back there.
I want to tell y'all again that I love y'all. I want to tell y'all that you
love you too. Yes.
Man, listen. Together, we are a power. Together, we are a force to be fucking reckoned with. Let's continue as a community. Let's ride or die. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.
All right.
Hey, don't you go anywhere. Please subscribe, like, share, do all that stuff. Leave a message too, please. And please, somebody told King I did this shit, man. I can't keep sneaking these intros and outros on if y'all keep telling, all right? Damn.